This is TWiT.
Bono is writing a memoir in which he explains how it came to be that there was a black and red U2 iPod and how you got a U2 album you didn't want on your iPod. And I have to give him credit because he really took full responsibility for that screw up.
Yeah.
He really pushed it. Let me see if I can read the quote is hysterical. He said, okay, so free music? Asked Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, with a look of mild incredulity. Are you talking about free music? You want to give this music away free, but the whole point of what we're trying to do at Apple is to not give away music free. The point is to make sure musicians get paid. No, I said, I don't think we give it away free. I think you pay us for it, and then you give it away free. As a gift to the people. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Tim Cook raised an eyebrow. You mean we pay for the album and then just distribute it? I said, yeah. Like when Netflix buys the movie and gives it away to subscribers. Tim looked at me as if I was explaining the alphabet to an English professor. But we're not a subscription organization. Not yet, I said.
Yet.
Not yet. Let ours be the first. Bono says, I take full responsibility. Not Guy O, not Edge, not Adam, not Larry, not Tim Cook, not Eddie Q. I thought if we could just put our music within the reach of people, they might choose to reach out towards it. Not quite. At first, I thought this was just an internet squall. We were Santa Claus, and we'd knocked a few bricks out as we went down the chimney with our bag of songs. But quite quickly, we realized we'd bumped into a serious discussion about the access of big tech to our lives. He likened it to pouring milk on people's cereal when they're lactose intolerant. He said, well, we thought free milk was a good thing, but maybe not. I am going to read this because I'm sure it'll be a wonderful memoir.
Yeah. That was very, very nice of him, and he did. The thing is, I would not have understood this until it actually started happening. But like even now, like when I go through like my on my file server, like the music that I own, it's like, why the hell did I buy that? And I remember, oh no, this was pushed into my library as a free promotional track. And it's like, but I don't want that. I don't want that coming up in shuffle play. That's not music that I like. Yeah. And you feel as though you didn't give up control. You had control taken away from you. And so that was
Apple had to make a tool.
Yeah, exactly. There was a tech support article. Somebody had to be paid. Someone had to use some of his hourly time to here's how to remove the thing that we thought you'd be delighted to have.
There also is some insight into the U2 iPod, which I bought for my sister. Came with U2 songs on it. It was a beautiful, all the iPods up to that point had been black and red. So it started because they wanted to be in those iconic iPod ads with the dancing silhouettes. They said it could be us playing Vertigo, our new song, in the ad. And Steve said, well, I don't think we'd have the kind of budget that you might expect. Actually, Steve, I said, we don't want cash. We just want to be in the iPod commercial. Steve was thrown. Intrigued, said if that's the deal, he didn't have to think twice. He'd need to run it by the creative team. There's one other thing, added Paul McGinnis. Although the band are not looking for cash, some Apple stock, even a symbolic amount, might be a courtesy. Sorry, said Steve. That's a deal breaker. Silence.
Music people, right?
Well, I tentatively suggested, how about our own iPod, a customized U2 iPod in black and red? Steve looked nonplussed. Apple, he said, is about white hardware. You wouldn't want a black one. He thought for a moment. I could show you what it would look like, but you won't like it. So Johnny made it. They had a red, spin dial, because that looked like the Atomic Bomb album cover that U2 had released. There you go. It was a beautiful iPod. And if you still have one, here it is. If you still have one, the edges holding it. You're lucky. That's a special iPod.
That was an interesting time when like the capacity of iPods were such that the idea of buying one as a container for all of the music of a band was very, very interesting
cool.
and attractive.
Yeah.
Especially did they do? Am I misremembering? There was a Yellow Beatles one. I don't think so. But there was
no, they did. But I think
no.
there was. What was there?
But they did do the digital box set with U2, which was another groundbreaking thing, right? Where they took their entire output and it was a single purchase and you got all the B-sides and everything. And I mean, digital box set, it was literally just a bundle of all their albums. But still, that was the first time I'd seen anything like that.
$99. I bought all of Led Zeppelin's stuff on iTunes. It was, I mean, I was thrilled. I was really thrilled.
Jason, you were at the YouTube you were at the launch event, weren't you, with the Steve Jobs and the I was too. I just put a link in the show notes for my photos from Flickr that I posted from that thing. But the ability to see like YouTube perform an acoustic set from like 25 feet away. That might be my favorite music. I couldn't believe it, right? Because it was just, I mean, it was Bono
Look how
Oh,
small
and the Edge,
it is.
right?
This is a tiny theater here. Wow.
Yeah, that was the California Theater in San Jose, I want to say, is where that event was.
So you were up close and personal with...
I mean, one of my favorite bands of all time, and then they're right in front of me doing that. It was amazing. Cool. It was, that star power, that like Andy said, the iPod made this weird fusion suddenly happen between Apple and the music industry, and that's when we started getting the huge stars showing up at these Apple events to perform live, which was just amazing.
Yeah.
Seeing a band like the Foo Fighters, and like nobody is like yelling woo during the quiet parts. No one is. It's like, how can you beat that? It's like, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
that was. I remember how excited you were about seeing Dave Grohl up close and personal.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I did not have the presence of mind to request a selfie. I was in journalism mode, so I requested a photo. God damn it, Andy.
And when Chris Martin from Coldplay performed at an Apple event, I was sitting next to Chris Breen, who is an accomplished pianist, who turned to me and said, "Well, for a piano player, he's a pretty good rock star."
Really?
Did not expect shade to be thrown at Chris Martin. But he's not wrong. I mean, like, Chris Martin's forte is not picking at the piano, like, you know. But anyway, that was some great musical artists. But the YouTube thing, that was a big moment.
Was that the Steve Jobs Memorial? You weren't there. That's when they
played at a Yerba Buena event, along with like Kanye and The Weeknd, and like there's a long. It's an amazing and Sia and like the musical artists. Drake didn't perform though. Drake just showed up in a jacket. But the musical artists on stage at Apple events it's quite a list. It's amazing.
Well, it's a testament to the power Apple wields in the music industry, and I think still does. Although I imagine less so now that Spotify is here. But
they're the two big services, right? And isn't it telling that Bono, and that was a savvy comment, right? Which is, you don't have to pay us. We'll just be in your iPod commercial for free. It's with our new single.
Yeah, they knew how many singles that would sell.
Good idea.
Millions of dollars.
Hello. Right. It was Vertigo, wasn't it?
Vertigo.
Vertigo.
I still remember
And somebody in the chat room said, nice song, but they really needed some help with the lyrics. Uno, dos, tres, catorce.
Yeah. I mean, it's a joke.
It's a joke? Is it intentional?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
All right. Then that's good. I actually saw that tour in Toronto. Spent a lot of money for a scalper to see.
I've only ever seen U2 live at Apple events.
Yeah, exactly.
Up close.
I've seen Elvis Costello. I've seen like all. If you name like my favorite top band, I think the only ones I have not seen that I would love to see live, but I can't because of Ticketmaster, would be Paul McCartney. I think that's of all the bands that I would like to see, but we cannot because of Ticketmaster. That would be the only one that I haven't seen. Thanks to being invited to Apple events.
You were not wrong. There was a Beatles limited edition box set iPod sold at Bloomingdale's. Here's a picture of it. Thank you to user 1123. 120 gig iPod with the Beatles logo on the front and Abbey Road silhouette on the back and a unique number etched in. 2,500 of them. They sold at the time for $795. I imagine if you had one, you probably could sell it for a little bit more.
I'm guessing.
Little bit more. When was that? I hate it when they don't have a date on their posts, and they don't.
eBay has it listed about $1,500.
Oh, not bad.
So
Only twice the price.
mint condition.
I bought on eBay, there was a Beatles release that had a metal green apple that had a USB key for the stem. I did buy that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. There's one of my favorite YouTubers, Techmoan, who does a whole bunch of like not just celebrating vintage tech, but telling the stories of like old formats and how they came to be. He will come up with this format that existed only for like 11 months. And yes, the Beatles made this like made a version of the Sgt. Pepper album for this format you've never heard of, and because nobody bought it, it's like the $30,000 Beatles album. And it's like you have no idea how many formats there were out there until you see as historian start. Well, there was a fight between Philips and a German tape company, and they decided to both do the same format in different packages. And it's very, very, it's like looking at an alternative reality, and it's also looking at collector's mentality. Because I'm very surprised that only 2,500 copies of that Beatles album collection. I would have expected that to be a little more expensive.
These I bought it because, well, it was cool because it's an actual metal.
Oh yeah.
But also this was a remix. It was done in 2009 and it was 24-bit. So this was the highest quality Beatles music they ever released, I think, and it was on that USB.
I think one of the most prophetic things ever said in any movie was in the first Men in Black movie, when Agent K said, "Oh, look at this alien technology of music. Looks like I'm gonna have to buy the White Album again." How many times are we gonna buy Abbey Road?
I bought the White Album. I'll tell you.
I'm about to buy Revolver for must be like the 9th or 10th time as soon as like the remastered edition comes up.
Yeah. Every time they do the 50th anniversary, I go out and buy it. So this must be 60th now. Wow. 62? No,
yeah, we're in the 60s.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm Jason Howell. What do you get your favorite geek who already has everything? Well, I know just the thing. It's a Club TWiT gift subscription, of course. TWiT podcasts keep them informed and entertained with the most relevant tech news and podcasts available. And with a Club TWiT subscription, they get even more. They get access to all of our podcasts ad-free, the members-only Discord, exclusive outtakes, behind the scenes and special content, and exclusive shows like Hands on Mac, Hands on Windows, and the Untitled Linux Show. You can purchase your geek's gift at twit.tv/clubtwit, and they're going to thank you every day for it.